Hey everybody, Chuck Barone, and it is. Can you turn the light on, Jake? It is Wednesday, February the 28th, 2024. Wow, it's bright. And here we are with the show. We're going to give everybody a couple of seconds to get themselves logged in and get situated before we get rolling here. How's everybody doing today? It was an interesting day on Wall Street, wasn't it? Wow, you guys see Bitcoin today? Whew, jumping, man. All right, we're at 1:30, so let's get things rolling. Welcome everybody to the show. Your host Chuck Barone here. We got a lot of news today, a lot of things going on Wall Street today. So let's get right into it, guys. Stock market today. Well, the stock market's kind of holding its breath. We all know that tomorrow we're going to get the inflation number. We're all waiting for the Fed's PCE numbers. This is a huge thing coming right now because the market's kind of had a little bit of uncertainty as far as now what's going to happen with interest rates. Not going to happen. I'm telling you guys, mark it down. You heard it from Chuck. Rates are going to be higher for a lot longer than everybody believes. I'm talking, through this year, we may not see a rate cut. I guess we have to get the data coming in, right? They're hoping that these inflation numbers calm down. I promise you they're not going to. Tomorrow's number, from what I understand and what I've been reading on some of the preview stuff, it's not going to be a good one, man. It's going to show inflation. Like, I guess they're going to get a 0.4 number month over month, which equates to almost 5%. So it's not going to be good. Welcome, everybody. Nice to see everybody saying hi. We're trying to figure out how to get the intro music back on with the live show. Not going to be easy, but we're working on it. All right, so let's talk about the markets. We know there's some uncertainty. So the markets today, really not much happening, just kind of holding the breath, waiting for 5:30 tomorrow morning Pacific time. We'll get this report. So the market's just basically selling off a little today, very lightly though, nothing big. The Dow falling 23 points, 38,949. The NASDAQ down 87 points, 15,947 on the NASDAQ. The S&P falls 8 points, 5,069 on the NASDAQ. So stock market selling off a little bit today. There's, like I said, people want to unload some positions. They're a little bit shakier. That's what you're seeing here, right? Bond market, bond prices actually rising today. People moving their money out of the stock market, parking it in bonds. So you see the 10-year prices up, yields down, falling 4 basis points. 10-year now yielding 4.27%. The 2-year falling a little faster, prices rising a little higher, people sticking with the short-term stuff. That's kind of smart. The 2-year falls 6 basis points, now sitting at 4.65%. Not a bad number for a 2-year U.S. Treasury bond. So the bond market, again, it's all about tomorrow. So these markets kind of getting their bets in place for the big numbers tomorrow. Dollar firming up a little bit, up 10 basis points on the index, 103.94. So it's probably going to get back up over 104, especially tomorrow if the inflation numbers come in hot. They'll be thinking, rate cuts are bad for the dollar. That's why it's kind of been sinking down from its big highs it had, right? Now that might strengthen the dollar a little bit, knowing these rate cuts are going to be put off into the future a little bit, right? Precious metals today, gold and silver actually rallying up, not much though, but it's nice to see silver and gold moving up at the same time the dollar is. That's unusual. Gold up $350 today, $2,034 even for an ounce of gold. Silver up just 3 cents, $22.52 for an ounce of silver. I'm telling you, silver is going to be 25 soon. If you have a few extra shekels, you might want to take a look at that. I think you might make a few pennies on that. Oil today coming down 51 cents, still a little too high at $78.36. It's going to fall back into that trough, guys. I'm telling you right now, write it down. You heard it here. It's going to happen for sure. 70 to 75. That's where it wants to be. This little anomaly here it's nothing more than that. Prices will come back down to where the median is. Bitcoin today. Did you guys see this number? Bitcoin, another huge spike, up $3,468. Bitcoin now back up over 60,000, 60,350. I hope all of you viewers out there have Bitcoin because, man, and look at, I got to tell you, I really think it's got a ways to go. It just seems like it's just starting to have momentum. Now, you got to be careful with some of these cryptos because a lot of, I guess these ETFs have really taken off and they're moving this markets right now. Somebody was telling me the statistics for Bitcoin and how much of it's being sold. It's just phenomenal numbers. There's demand for this stuff. The only fear was because of the weird exchanges it was on, and people with real money weren't familiar with how to hold it in your crypto wallets and all that weird stuff. Guess what? Now you can just trade it on this ETF. Boom, going up. And I think ultimately you're going to see Bitcoin at $100,000. Now, I'm not saying it's going to happen really, really fast or even this year, but that's going to be something you're going to see for sure. And it's not going to look like it's, holy crap, a shocking thing. People are going to come to accept it for what it is. It's amazing. All right, so let's talk about some stuff today. Stuff, right? So you saw the headline about JP Morgan's warning about stagflation, right? So they're coming out, they're saying that get ready. We will have 70s style stagflation. Well, let me tell you what stagflation means, okay? Basically, it's the word spells it out. What you basically have is a stagnant, shitty economy with job losses, unemployment rising. In the 70s, unemployment was 10% and higher, coupled with inflation, prices rising, right? It's the worst of all possible worlds, guys, where you have just nothing happening in the economy. You really don't have a chance to make more money. Prices keep going up, especially on the stuff we use every day. Okay, TV prices coming down. You can still get an iPad for a reasonable number, but you want to buy eggs, you want to buy cream cheese, food prices up outrageous. I'm going to talk a little bit about that, some of the things consumers are doing now to fight back on these stupid prices. But JP Morgan warning of this kind of situation. Now, here's the deal, guys. Everybody kind of had it like we had this whole inflation fight done. They were talking about how many rate cuts this year? 5 or 6 rate cuts this year? Not going to happen. And if this number, PCE number, comes and it continues that high or higher, we could actually see more rate hikes coming. As I've been telling you guys about rates, the Federal Reserve isn't just going to cut rates because people want them to. Although they did cave into Donald Trump that one time. Remember that one, guys? When Trump was screaming the rates were too high before the election and kind of arm twisted Powell into cutting rates. That doesn't typically happen. So the Fed's really, if this stuff starts to come happening where we get bigger job losses and inflation stays persistent, the Fed's really, really, really in a tough spot, man. Consumers are already struggling, like hardly making it now. Imagine more higher prices and less opportunity to make more money. A crappy stock market, crappy job market, everybody feeling gloomy and pissed. It's going to be fun, man. It's crazy times. I just hope it's not true. I'd like to see the Fed actually come through. I just don't think they're going to. All right, so let's talk about this inflation stuff, guys. Some big doings. I was reading this article today. People doing some amazing stuff now to fight back against rising costs, especially against food costs. I was reading this article. They were basically talking about the steps consumers are taking to fight back, to not waste money, so to speak, or not to buy products that are marginal and now super high prices, right? So look at this. Here's some of the things people are doing to lower the cost of their food stuff, right? First thing is the no eating out pledge. Have you guys seen that? I guess it's kind of it's an internet thing. People pledging to stop eating out. I don't know. I like eating in restaurants. I'm not a fast food guy, but I like to eat out. I don't know if I would ever pledge that, although I gotta say, it is getting outrageous, man. I mean, just a simple meal, a burger with fries and a drink or a chicken sandwich. Now it's 15 or $20 a person, man. You order a sub sandwich from someplace, it's $20 freaking dollars. I mean, I get why people would do that, but no eating out, that's kind of hard. People are using more coupons, right? Now, naturally, me being a cheap ass that I am a coupon guy myself. I look for coupons on stuff I use. And guess what? They're not putting out coupons anymore. I used to get the Sunday paper. I'm an old guy, so I still read the newspapers, right? Sunday paper used to be my favorite. And it used to be super thick, and it was full of all kinds of marketing stuff. No more of that. No more coupon booklets. No more none of that stuff. And yeah, oatmeal and ramen, right? That's where the world's going, man. It's crazy, right? So coupons, that's another way to save money. People are buying more store brand, the great value brand stuff, rather than the name brands. People are buying more stuff in bulk rather than smaller purchases, buying in bulk to save money that way. They're changing what they eat, going to your oatmeal and ramen. You had Kellogg's coming out talking about eat cereal for dinner. You had the PepsiCo saying, hey, Doritos are a great side dish instead of, something fancy or French fries or, whatever you have along the side of what you're eating. Hilarious stuff, man, really. But people, these are the steps they're taking. Did you see this gardening mania? Everybody now starting a garden. People, and where the weather's nice and you can grow food, people chipping in, buying like a half acre, 3-4 people splitting it up and growing. I think that's kind of cool because you know what you're getting there. You know it's not going to be pesticided and GMO'd and all the other fun stuff, right? So people gardening, people are actually eating what they hunt, right? So now people are swapping out steaks for venison steaks. A lot. This is some crazy stuff people are doing, but I get it, man. People are eliminating non-water beverages, just drinking water, no more Pepsis, no more beers, no more Gatorades, no more of that stuff, right? People are buying sale items. So rather than just do a regular shopping list, they shop for what's on sale, and that's how they fill their basket with stuff that's on sale. People are doing weekly menus, actually planning their meals out for the week. I love some of the comments, man. Some of you guys are pretty funny. Possum is good the way Granny cooks it, huh? Nice. Possum pie, maybe, or whatever. But yeah, so people are fighting back against inflation. And this is good, guys, because what this means is this is the first step toward companies stopping raising their prices, right? They see people have had it with prices. They see that they're taking alternative measures to not buy their product. Companies don't like that. So this kind of movement is what stops the prices from going up. And you might actually start to see some stuff going on sale, a little more regular, and prices coming down, which would be welcome to everybody because food prices are ridiculous, right? JP Morgan, stagflation, people going crazy, fighting outrageous food prices. Now, I got a couple of quick hits I want to go over here. Not I'm going to go into a lot of detail on this stuff, but you guys can ask questions about it in the comments if you have any. Quick hits. Fourth quarter GDP revised down from 3.3 to 3.2 final number. Third quarter GDP 4.9% final number. So the year finished pretty strong economically. Believing these numbers, taking them with a grain of salt. You don't have to hit me up with 20 comments saying they're bullshit. I get it. Okay. These are the numbers that they released to us. So they say GDP rising pretty nicely second half of the year last year. Democrats in Congress, our bleeding heart buddies, now they're putting out a new bill, the Shrinkflation bill, right? They know that companies are scamming us, selling us, okay, so it goes from, 14 ounces to 12 ounces and they charge the same price. The cost isn't really going up. They're just shrinking the package. The packaging stays the same. What's in the package gets smaller, right? And they charge the same amount. The Democrats actually trying to write a bill prohibiting this. I don't know how you do that. I don't know how that works. I think we might be wandering into the weeds a little bit, I think this is more a gesture of, look, guys, we're trying to do something rather than them actually doing something, right? So I thought that was pretty funny. The Supreme Court's talking about they're having a hearing today. Interesting to people in Las Vegas. They outlawed these bump stocks, which is a stock you attach to your rifle. And basically the way it works is that you press the trigger and it uses the rifle's recoil to send another round, and it basically turns it into a gun that just holding the trigger back, pulling it once and holding it, basically turns it into not quite an automatic weapon, but the closest thing you're going to get to an automatic weapon without it being an automatic weapon. Well, these were banned. This was the kind of equipment that was used here in Vegas, the most deadly ever mass shooting, 58 people killed at that country western concert. So now the Supreme Court hearing this case, they were banned, and it looks like, from what I'm hearing and reading about what the justices have been saying and asking, it looks like they're going to uphold this ban, which is interesting because typically anything gun related is, that's kind of off limits, right? Let's see. Oh yeah, the geniuses are meeting up in Washington trying to prevent a government shutdown this Saturday. I guess they're going to have to get together, pass some kind of resolution or whatever to prevent the government from shutting down again. These guys I don't know why they want to play this brinksmanship. They know they're not going to let the government default. I don't understand how they think this makes them look good by doing this all the time, because we all know what the final outcome is going to be. So anyway, that's coming up over the end of this week. And supposedly the president's saying there's a possible deal to avoid it. Congress looking like, they're going to do their usual caving in, and we'll have a deal and avoid that shutdown. And also, one last quick hit, real estate still sucks, guys. Residential real estate not picking up. And now with the threat of even higher rates, mortgage companies are always out in front of that. You're going to see rates climbing well above 7% again. That's not going to make anybody happy. Before I go, I just want to talk about a quick question I got yesterday in the comments. It was a really good question. I had mentioned yesterday about paying off debt and using the Dave Ramsey method to pay that debt off, okay? The method basically works like, let's say you have 3 credit cards. One has $3,000, one has $2,000, one has $1,000. And your payments are, just to use easy numbers, $150, $150. So you're paying $150, $100, you're paying a total of $300 on those 3 accounts, $150 to one, $100 to another, minimum payments, $50 to the third. The method is, instead of you pay the minimum to the top line, you pay the minimum to the second highest, and you concentrate the remaining number of that $300 on the smallest one, trying to eliminate that and pay that one off first, and then moving and concentrating your fire then again on the next one up the ladder, paying them off from smallest to biggest. The question the viewer asked was, isn't that kind of bad advice? Shouldn't he pay off the higher interest debt first? Great question and a good point, but I disagree, and I'll tell you why. Typically on a credit card, the way they amortize that debt and the rates, so let's say one card is 25%, one card is 27%. Okay, that difference in rate, the way they amortize it, is going to be $3 payment per month. So it's not going to really make much of a difference on the payment to attack the highest one first, right? So that's one reason I would say pay the second one, or the smallest one first. The main reason I would say pay the smallest one first is because that's the fastest path to positive results. You're going to pay that one off. You're going to feel good about paying that one off, right? And then so that will keep you motivated to keep doing it. When you start with the biggest one and it takes forever to pay it off, you're seeing the balances come down, but because it's so high, it's taking much, much, much longer to pay that bill off. People lose motivation. Then they use the smaller one to buy something, and now that balance goes up and it messes the whole system up. So that's why myself. Now, if you believe paying the higher interest one off is first, and paying that one off first is great. The idea being, if we're arguing about how to pay off our debt, it's much better than arguing about should we pay off our debt, right? Anyway, guys, I really appreciate all of you guys being here. I appreciate you guys, shopping in Mexico. It's been fun, and I got to get the hang. Forgive me, I'm still not quite having the hang of doing the show comfortably and reading the comments and questions at the same time. I'm going to get better at that as we do this more and more, guys. So be patient with me. I will get to your questions. If you asked a question in the comments and I didn't get to it in the live chat, hit me up in the comments. I'll answer that. I'm responding now every comment, every question in the comments section. So hit me up there if I didn't respond to your stuff here. Anyway, guys, that's it for the day. It's good to be back, man. It's good to be here. Tomorrow is going to be a huge day. We're going to get that PCE number. We know that's going to move the markets. If the number comes in what they're saying it is, we're going to have a crazy freaking day on Wall Street. You're going to see yield spike on the bond market. You're going to see the stock market going crazy. It's going to be a fascinating day. We'll be back tomorrow to bring you guys the news you need, man. We appreciate your support. Hit the like button. Don't forget to subscribe. Turn on your registrations. Hit me up with comments and questions, and we'll talk to you guys again tomorrow. Until then, guys, take care. Thanks.